People. Kepasa Sakpa say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill mama and papa missionary blogging. This is blogging that takes you to the roof or under the cellar with mother hen and their little chickadees. Now, oftentimes people said to me, then hold on a minute. Every blogger in a Jamaica are just bad, are just crime, are just violence, are just murder, them can talk about. And I would say, well, as soon as I get something positive to talk about, that is what I will do. Until then, I will speak about exactly what is going on, make people be aware. Now, people, when we think say situation can't get any sorts of wassera, in a place called Fortland that is in Discovery Bay is in St. Anne. A little 8-year-old TALIA Thompson, she was taken from her home. The neighbor, 27-year-old, jumped over her fence. After him jump over her fence, he then commenced to juke her up, took her out totally. Based on the information, it is said that this little child was at home alone. Apparently, the parents gone a market, gone a work, something people me not really know. This neighbor knows that the little child was by herself, went by there, don't know what type of conversation was had, take her over him house, do all these evilous things to this child. It is said that this man, after him realize him take with the lady and him start to say to himself, wait, what me I go do here now? Me caught between a rock and a hard place. He decided to take the coward way out. It is said that him put some sorts of 9mm can in some sorts of pliers and put some sorts of heat to it and aimed it at his head. Unfortunately for Jamaica, unfortunately for him, it just go off and abrase him forehead. He did not lose his life. It is said that the neighbors upon hearing this loud explosion run over there. When them go over there, them see him Haffi-D3, them summons the po-po. When them looking at the room, them see the little 8-year-old pitney B-O-D-Y, all sorts of P-I-S-S. People, can you imagine what this little child went through with this evilous monster supposed to be neighbor? It is said that when the po-po came on the scene and them searched the place, they also found 4 homemade guns. I guess that he was some sort of gun Smiths. So therefore, I guess his career was not too successful. And people, like me say, misery loves company. Do you realize that the people that are the least successful in life is the biggest troublemaker? They are the ones that are menace to society. So people, I want you to take a look to what the SSP for the hero has to say about the whole incident, and then I'll give my piece.
Information received is that TALIA was left at a neighbor's house when a family friend went to the house and took the child to his house. He proceeded to rape the child and inflicted several stab wounds to her, resulting in her death. The suspect then attempted to kill himself by placing a 9mm live round in a pliers, which he heated. The bullet exploded, causing an abrasion to his forehead. Neighbors heard the explosion, rushed to the house, where he was found further self-inflicting knife wounds. The body of TALIA was found in the nude. The police was informed, visited the scene, and took the accused to the hospital, where he is admitted on a police guard. It is worthy to note that during our search of the house, subsequent search of the house, 4 homemade firearms were found in a section of the house.
Now people, first thing first. Me as a parent, my family, None of us is going to have any sorts of child that is 8-year-old and leave them by themselves. Some sorts of arrangement must be made to make sure say somebody responsible, somebody that is just like you, can watch your child while you are gone if you have to leave them alone. Somebody that you can verify, somebody that you can vouch for, somebody that is well vetted. No sorts of stranger. The same thing applies. Me no care who for picnic. Me no watch nobody picnic unless, of course, I'm a brother or my sister or somebody that is BLOOD. Me no practice the habit for watch anybody picnic because you don't know, sometimes the picnic them mad, sometimes the parents them mad. So therefore to avoid, not because I have any sorts of question about myself, but because I have question about people and their motive. So me just say, if I think like that as it pertains to other people, kids, just imagine how I feel about my own. Mothers, they are supposed to be like mother hen and the little chickadees. Them supposed to watch the picnic and guard them and protect them with their own life. Even if you own picnic in a DANGER, you are supposed to stand up even firmer. That sound away, but you get the point. So people, me just say, I understand sometimes it is economic situation, you have to go to work, you probably don't have any sorts of family member. However, that is where Planned Parenthood comes into play. If you know, say, you're not ready for picnic, you know, or you cannot afford any sorts of daycare or have any sorts of responsible people around you, do not just leave the picnic them out in the open. You are endangering that child, especially when your neighbor is a peddy. So more than likely, this man I pray the people in picnic a long time, because I am assuming that the family never go over to his house and say, give an eye upon my picnic till me come back, because that would have been the wrong decision. Either way, it did not end up good. Based on what the Popo said, they found the man injured and then the little picnic gone, and they took him to the hospital where he was admitted and under Popo guard. Now people, this is a case in which Indicom should understand if when the neighbors catch this man, and they should before the Popo got there, they would have given him the Tarzan and Jane and the little monkey justice. Or even all of the Popo that went on that crime scene while they were walking in the room where he was at. Them trip and accidentally wheel and pop off them tool, and all of the corn out of the magazine enter his body. I would understand that, I would more accept that than somebody like this going to jail, going to eat taxpayers' money, 3 square meals a day, roof and shelter over him head. People, he should have been in some sorts of board box, modern or dovecot, point blank and period. Further on in the news, it seems as if our children in Jamaica is getting missing in an alarming rate. Most of the times when they go missing, they are not found, and even when they are found DEAD. About a day or so ago, an ex-person sent me a picture of a missing girl. This girl's name is Dennell Edwards. She is 12-year-old. It is said that she attends Pembroke High School. She is in 7th grade. That makes her a first former. She is originally from Almond Town. It is said that the mother and the father split. She's from a good home. She just celebrated her 12th birthday on August of 2023. People, help me find this lady, the picture that you see on your screen. Further on in the news, it is said that Adan from Grandspen sent a message after the MURDER of dancehall artist brother JASHII. His name is Clark. He sent out a very serious message, and the message goes something like this. Tell JASHII fly high or fly low. The artist I got DEAD. People like me say, me no know the Don, me no know JASHII, me just tell you what word on the street is saying. And based on the recent chain of events, as in the youth getting taken away after some sorts of argument with JASHII's mother, JASHII and him allegedly in some sorts of confrontation, they done threatened to take away JASHII and him family life. We heard the mother come out and say, not no go so. They are squashing it. People just have spread all sorts of rumors a couple of days or a week or so later at some sorts of birthday celebration. JASHII and him entourage get pie up. JASHII was lucky he was saved by a licensed firepiece holder. Fast forward a day or so ago in Grand Spen, where they are from, his brother loses life. Now this threat allegedly coming from the Don. I guess the Don was his name, Phuket, the brother of Romy, allegedly. So I am going to assume that JASHII and his family and his entourage, they are going to take heed. Like me always say, a wise man learns from his mistake, a wiser man learns from the mistakes of others, especially when it hit directly as in a brother. I am assuming that JASHII is going to do the right thing. He is going to put into play security measure or even take away himself or take away him family until it cools down, if it does, point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called mathematical coincidence, or is it intentional, premeditated crimes? I am speaking about a sequence of events that took place in your place, Jamrock, back to back to back, wherein some people from Nationwide News spoke something ill about the PNP. A couple of days later, some GUNMEN roll up on a bike and blaze up some car, shot up some people's car. Fast forward, there was an investigation against the Speaker of the House, Marissa Del whatever, Philibert. That investigation said that, listen, this lady should be charged for lying on her statutory declaration as it pertains to some sorts of Benz that costs 8 million or so. However, she paid 6 point something. She got a discount of $1 million plus. So they must say she lie for save some money, for save $1 million or so. During that investigation, the opposition wanted her to leave and say, listen, this lady does not qualify. She has too much question signs on her name while this investigation is ongoing. She refused. She would later resign from the Trelawney South and also as Speaker of the House. A day or so after that, somebody broke in her office. It is said that they stole some cash, they stole some jewelry, and they stole some file. During this investigation, as it pertains to the Integrity Commission, it is also said her name was called up on because she stole some sorts of assets, some sorts of property, some sorts of land from some people named Clark. Those people was on Wayne Lonesome's program and they gave everything in intricate detail. That person also said she was supposed to bring some sort of file. Her lawyer and herself went to the fraud squad and they told them that, listen, we have some sorts of file. It is said that her name is called upon some sorts of incident that occurred in Oterios where she dumped a whole bunch of garbage from some sorts of property that she was renovating. That case, I don't know if it is swept under the rug. However, the point is that there are a whole bunch of question marks on her name, not only as it pertains to the Integrity Commission report that was filed and she is supposed to be charged, but also people, land, and thing. So remember I said that she was supposed to bring some sorts of information to the fraud squad. However, she is now going to say that some of that file that was missing are stolen during that alleged robbery. So my point is that we are going to hear in the short term that robbery, some of those files that were missing were filed pertaining to some of those cases or judgment that is, or was supposed to be going against her. Conveniently, they went missing. Now the next thing is that one of the chief of the Integrity Commission, during this investigation, he was coming from some sorts of financial institution. Him having briefcase or attached in him hand. Once he left that parking lot in Kingston, New Kingston, where their office is at, and him exit the parking lot, he was pounced upon by some people upon some sorts of bike. They relieved him of that Itachi or briefcase and can him up in his shoulder or hand just for safekeeping. Jump on the yang, take with himself. Now when that incident occurred, remember, the whole case was about Mrs. Philibert. However, when that incident occurred, the chairman of the Integrity Commission, his name is Doug Christie, he made a remark when he was asked by some sorts of media house. This is exactly what he had to say.
What's your thoughts on the shooting?
Should ask the government that.
Why, sir? What does it mean, sir?
Ask them what that means.
Mr. Christie is making it known that, listen, this sounds strange, this sounds funny. The fact that one of our employees or co-worker was conned up during the course of an investigation make it seem as if this was intentional. Make it seem as if this was premeditated and it had everything to do with everything. This is more than coincidental. This sounds planned. People, that is the way Mr. Doug Christie, along with other Jamaicans, should have felt about this whole investigation. The robbery of Mrs. Philibert, the investigation and everything else. That, listen, the government have something to do with it. So therefore, this man is now backpedaling and saying that he did not say what we heard him say. Him just as say. They are going to be intensifying their security protocols just to make sure that nothing like this happens again. They've been asking the government, Minister of National Security, to amp up them security. However, it has not happened. We also saw where the Integrity Commission came out and they pretty much made an apology for Mr. Doug Christie and saying that we misinterpreted what he said. What he said is not what we heard. What he said is what is in our mind. So pretty much them are backpedal. They are now reshuffling and rethinking what they say because they realize that it is now deflected from Mrs. Philibert and it is now pointing towards Mr. Doug Christie. So therefore his action or his speech is now under investigation because they are saying that it is ethically or morally incorrect. People, what is wrong with people talking the truth or giving their opinion? Everything has to be politically based these days, and people, that is exactly what is transpiring. Because the reality of the situation is that when we think about the action, the corruption, the evilness of this government of Jamaica, it is not as if they are moral or ethically. It is not as if they are some sorts of saints. It is being proven that this government are the leaders of Jamaica, whether are JLP or PNP, all of them are like some sorts of mobs or criminal organization. They are exactly the mafiosa, El Cartel, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.